All right, welcome Algebra 1. This is Mr. Howell giving a lesson from his garage. Welcome. Today we're going to review the distance formula. It's a very important topic that you guys need to know for geometry and moving on. So this is kind of a review to get it kind of easy for us to transition from the school learning into this online learning. We're doing this topic again. You have one worksheet to do, and then on Thursday we're going to come together and talk about it in a live chat. Let's get right to it. So the distance formula is used to find the distance between 2 points on the coordinate plane. So you'll remember that a coordinate plane looks like this with the x-axis and the y-axis. We have these numbers sticking out here. And number 1 on your worksheet actually looks like this, whereas points over here, we'll talk about that in a minute, and then over 1 down 2 is going to be right here. So it says how far are these 2 points apart from each other. We're going to use the distance formula. It looks like this, and you guys can fast forward or rewind if you have to, but the distance between any 2 points looks like this, where x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Square root of all of that is going to give you this distance. And what you need to know is that these x and y points, x1 comma y1, that would be your first point, and x2 comma y2, that would be your second point. So if we look at these points right here, we have to basically find out where these points are first. And I'll tell you that, remember, we start at the origin and we count to the left or right first in the x direction, that x point, and we come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the negative side. So this is -5, and then we actually counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So -5, 5 is that point. We'll use that over here. To get this point, we start back at the origin, we go to the right 1 and down 2. So to the right 1 and then down 2 looks like that. That should all be review. I'm going pretty quick here. Let's take this -5, 5 and take that 1 comma -2 and say those are our 2 points, and we want to find the distance between those 2 points. Well, remember, we do this. We say this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. And we're going to plug those values, x1, y1, x2, y2, into this formula. So we can say the square root of, well, the x2 is right here, it's the 1, minus x1 is right here, it's the -5. Be careful with that double negative. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we're going to square that value. And we're going to say plus, I'm going to extend my square root out here a little bit more, y2 minus y1. So take the 2 y values and subtract them. Y2 is the -2, whoops, minus the 5, and square that. So 1 minus a -5 is really 1 plus 5. Minus a negative turns into a plus. 1 plus 5 is 6, so we're going to square that. And then we're going to add to that -2 minus 5 is -7. We're going to square that. When we do those values and simplify, we get 36, as you know. 6 times 6 is 36, and -7 times -7 is 49. When we add those together, we're going to get 79/85. And we need to take that and put it in the square root value, and we get that 9.2 approximately, and we're done. So what that means is that this distance of this straight line right here connecting these 2 original points, that distance, if I measured it with a ruler, would be 9.2 units. Units is 1 unit across the coordinate plane. Let's take 9.2 of them to get from 1 unit to the next, 1 point to the next. This is actually number 1 on your worksheet, so take a look at that. Make sure you know how to do that. And this is what I expect you to be able to do, showing the work for each problem, working through these steps so that you can get down to that answer. Let's look at one more. Distance formula is here. We're going to use that again. I'm going to write that again right here. D equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Those should be down here. Anyway, okay. So let's say we were just given 2 points. Let's look at maybe number 7. is points -2, 3, and point -7, -7. So again, x1, y1, x2, y2 go there, and we're going to plug those values right up in here. The x2 is -7 minus x1's a -2. Be careful, minus and negative means positive, and we square that value. Then I have a plus sign, then a parenthesis, and the y2, it should really be a subscript, but you know, I'm kind of figuring this out as you guys are too. Minus y1 is 3, so that's okay, and square it. This is -7 plus 2. If you need to use a calculator, you can. -7 plus 2 is -5. We're going to square that. And then I have plus, this is a -10. -7 minus 3 is -10 squared. So this is really 25 plus 100. -5 times -5 is 25. -10 times -10 is positive 100. When I put those together underneath the square root, I get the square root of positive 125. And that's going to be a little bit more than 11. So if I put it in my calculator, I do get 11.2, and that would be the answer to number 7. Again, I expect you to be able to identify the x1, y1. I expect you to be able to plug those values into the distance formula, and then I expect you to be able to simplify inside here, square both of those values, bring them together, take the square root in your calculator, and get a decimal value rounded to the nearest 10th place or 1 decimal place. If you have more questions, you're going to have a worksheet to do assigned with this. I think it's 1 through 24. So 24 of these you have to do, and I'll be asking you to show me those with a picture or on our group chat on Thursday. More information about that on the Google Classroom link for our class. So take a look at that. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.